What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Here I am today, back again for another video as I do a preview to our game against Watford this weekend. We are back at home, the John Smith Stadium, for the first time since November the 12th. It'll be good to get back, obviously, and watch some football again. Obviously, it feels like it's been longer than since kind of. Yeah, it's just over a month, isn't it? It feels longer than what it actually has been. But obviously it'll be good to be back, and obviously, um, hopefully a good crowd, and yeah, hopefully we can see another, a 3 points that we massively, desperately need at the moment. Especially obviously after last weekend. So yeah, obviously we do come off. You come into this game on the back of a 1-0 loss against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Watford, who obviously is sitting fifth in the table at the moment, after they drew 0-0 at home to Hull. So yeah, obviously they don't seem to be, even though they're fifth, they don't seem to be flying. And well, they haven't, obviously 0-0 sounds a bit of a boring game, to be fair. So, and obviously being at home as well, you'd expect maybe Watford to win that one, but they didn't manage to do so. But yeah, I mean, first of all, let's look at the oppositions. So, obviously, a team that obviously got relegated from the Premier League last season. They've kind of been up and down, haven't they, in terms of between the Premier League and the Championship, since they were kind of relegated at the end of the 2019-20 season. Of course, their coach is Slaven Bilic, familiar face name, and obviously he took charge in September, at the end of September actually this year, on an 18-month contract. His first game in charge, obviously side beat Stoke away 4-0. Now, Watford, obviously, as I said, are fifth in the table at the moment. They've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1 of their last 5 games. So, a bit of a mixed bag. They like to draw games, but they also like to win games, and they also lose the odd game too. So, hopefully, we can add to that losses tally for them this weekend anyway, but we'll have to see about that one. But ones to watch in this one, I've picked out a few. João Pedro, 21 years of age. He's Watford's joint top scorer this season with 6 goals and 2 assists across 18 appearances. He's an attacker, obviously. He scored 4 from his last 7 games, including the brace in a 2-0 win over Reading in November. Now, he kind of plays in that, he plays in the attacking midfield role or centre forward this season. He's kind of, that's where he's kind of played. And then obviously sometimes played out wide as well. So he's very, can play across the pitch in that front line. And yeah, again, we've got to be careful here with him. Obviously, he's been at Watford a few years, joined from Fluminense. And he's kind of played a crucial part in Watford's, promotion in the 2020-21 season, and last season, obviously experiencing, playing in the Premier League as well. So that's all valuable experience for him. Another player picked out is Ken Sema. Ken Sema, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was a different name actually, but yeah, it is Ken Sema. So he's 29 years of age. He started every game this season. He scored 3 times and assisted a couple as well. Assisted 4. Sweden international has made 109 appearances across 4 seasons at the club, including 18 in the Premier League last season. The midfielder has also played 14 times for Sweden since making his debut back in 2017. Sema has made most of his appearances this season on the left wing. So he's played most of his games on the left wing. And so with a few coming on the right wing. or at centre forward. So again, another player that can play anywhere really. So another player that we're going to have to look out for and defensively. I've kind of bigged up our defence recently, and how obviously we're not conceding that many. It's just the other end that's the problem at the moment, for me anyway, where I see it. And then lastly, Hassan Kamara. Obviously, he's back at Watford after originally leaving for Udinese, but being loaned back for this season. He's 28 years of age. He's made 19 appearances this season, and he's assisted 2 goals for them. Obviously, since joining Watford in January of this year, from Nice in France. Obviously, he's a left back. He's played 38 times, with half of these coming in the Premier League. Kamara has made most of his appearances at left back, with a few coming at right and left midfield. So that's a few players I've picked out for players that we should look out for tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday. I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I'm just too excited to get back to the Johnson series. That's what it is, probably. But yeah, Saturday afternoon, of course. So yeah, that is that. So yeah, let's talk about us then now. So obviously, I am more prepared this time with my team selection, so I won't be going back and forth. And of course, I'm in town attire as well for this episode. Last video, obviously earlier in the week, because I wear my town shirt so much, I know that probably this isn't relevant, but I'll put it in there anyway. Because I wear my town shirt so much, they were actually both needing washing, so that's why I didn't have anything town related in the last video. But I am back with the famous blue and white stripes, and yeah. I just love this kit. I don't know what it is about this kit, but I actually really love this kit more than any other kit that we've had recently. It's such a nice design. But yeah. Anyway, getting back to the preview. So yeah, my team is as follows. I would like us to play the 4-2-3-1 formation in this one. I do, because even though this kind of looks very defensive, it isn't in effect. So obviously, Nichols starting in goal, Kessler, Hayden, Heelick and Lees with Ruffles on the other side. Kasumu and Hogg, I would start Hogg in this one. Definitely, we need him back. We saw how much of a big difference he made in that second half. And he's played 45 now, so he should be able to start the game. He's come through that last game, no problems at all. He's been training for the past week since that game, so he should be absolutely fine to start, and I would definitely put him in there now. And yeah, as I say, I know there's 2 holding midfielders I've put in there, and that probably looks like it's quite negative, but the thing is when we're attacking, Hogg can just sit in that, that central defensive midfield role, and Kasumu has a license to go forward. But Hogg's quite happy just sitting there and obviously protecting the back 4 with the counter attack, obviously, that Watford may try and catch us off guard with at times when we do attack forward. So yeah, it's not as defensive as it looks. And I think this formation is very effective, to be fair, and it allows me to put Radoni in the central attacking midfield role just behind the striker, which I think suits him the most. So you obviously Sorba Thomas. With Radoni in the middle, like I said, just behind the striker, and Ben Jackson. I'd like to see Ben Jackson come in, because I was very surprised actually that he didn't actually start against Sheffield United, because prior to the break, he was one of the first names on the team sheet for me and many other people, and obviously he seemed to be starting a lot of games as well. So I just think that Ben Jackson has to come in here, and I do think we were missing someone like him in the team, and then Jordan Rhodes to lead the line for us, and that is my lineup really. So there we are. That is a much better fluent lineup than the last one that I did, where I was just all over the place. I didn't organise at all. So yeah, there we are. So that's my lineup for this weekend. So yeah, like I say, it's going to be an interesting game, this, to be fair, because obviously, you know, we're in a position where, because our away form is so bad, and to be honest, our home form isn't much better, but because our away form is even worse, we need to be getting points at home. And when I say points, I mean wins, because, you know, if we don't win this weekend, the gap is just going to keep extending. Not to make things kind of, you know, kind of not to simplify it too much, but that is the reality. We need to start winning games at home, and that's what we need to focus on. And then away from home, picking up the point here and there, and maybe getting the odd result. You know, if we can win a couple of games away, we'll be fine this season. But it's just finding that, isn't it? And like I say, it's going to be an interesting game. Like I say, I don't really know. I don't really see much of Watford this season, admittedly, to be fair. I think that they will look to dominate the ball. But obviously we're at home, so we need to be getting on the ball and trying to dictate play and take it to them. Obviously they are the side that are much higher than us, obviously fighting for playoff place, obviously wanting to get back up to the Premier League again. Whereas obviously we are rock bottom, of course, as we know. So I expect a game where there'll be plenty of chances. We just need to be clinical and we need to create more. Because we saw in the Sheffield United game, I know we're away, but we saw in that game we only managed one shot on target in the whole match. I mean, I'm sorry, but that is just not good enough. We need to be testing the goalkeeper a lot more than that. You know, and especially at home as well, we need to be doing so, and we need to, you know, create and you know and be clinical ultimately. But yeah, that I expect us. What I'd like to hope from us, we'll be on the front foot and we'll be looking to take the game to them, and obviously, you know, finding that spark in midfield, and obviously, you know, and yeah, so Redoni obviously in a more better position for me now in this role that I've given him. I'm not saying that Mark will choose this, but if I was the manager, that was the lineup I would have gone with. Redoni suits the cam position for me because it gives him that license to roam. I don't really like him. I mean, obviously we've had to play him in central midfield before as a flat central midfield because we haven't had anybody else, like I said in the previous episode. So now we have got Hogg back, then Hogg can sit there now, and then obviously Redoni can go further forward and really dictate play, hopefully. But yeah, so yeah, I'm expecting a tight game. I really am hoping that we can get a win here, and we need a win, like I say, desperately, because, like I said, the gap is just going to keep extending, and you know it's just going to be even more a bigger challenge than it is now, if that's at all possible. But yeah, as long as we give it a good go, we're not too negative, and yeah, we just give it a good go, and but ultimately we need points. So we, you know, at this stage we're not looking for performances as such. We're just looking for results. But it's also nice to have a good performance too. So it's one of those. But yeah, obviously Watford are going to be dangerous on the counter, and obviously they've got some really good players across the pitch, great quality. They're not, you know, they're up there for reasons, but they are there for the taking. They are away. We're at home, and we've got to use that home advantage. Hopefully, it'll be a good crowd, and yeah, and let's just stick with them and keep, you know, and be the difference in the stands for sure. But yeah, first of all, obviously, I did mention about the transfer market in my last video, and I've kind of done my research and looked at a few kind of players that potentially could come into the club. Because believe it or not, January will be here before we know it, really. So I want to do this for the end of the video. Obviously, I'm going to do this, and then obviously that'll be it for the end of the video. So yeah, I just wanted to mention it. But first, I have actually forgotten to do this right at the very start. So apologies. Not why I'm apologising, but you know. like I said, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and comment your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on anything that's been discussed, your lineups, anything you want to comment on. Feel free to do it down below, and obviously I'll get back to you guys with your comments. So yeah, but please, like I say, it's free to subscribe, and I am looking to get to 200 subscribers in the near distant future. So it would mean a lot to me. It's free as well, so it doesn't cost anything. So yeah, and it would mean a lot to me. But yeah, anyway, get back to this topic. Obviously, the reality here is we have to look to add goals to our squad if we're at any, if we've got any chance of staying up. And obviously we've scored 19 goals this season, just to put it into context. That's the joint fewest in the division alongside Cardiff City. So that is not something to be proud of, being at the bottom of the goal score, the amount of goals we've scored. And like I said in the last video, we are not going to have a big budget to work with. I think Mark's kind of made that clear in his press conference when he was asked about maybe transfers in the last one. Now, we could potentially look to sell Rhodes to reduce that wage bill and free up some funds. But the reality is, we need to add firepower, not lose it. So it's one of those, I don't really know what budget we're looking at here, but we don't want to be losing someone like Rhodes because he adds so much to the squad, and his experience will be vital. Obviously, we will be getting in obviously Florian Camberi, who is a forward, but we need to do more in order to beat the drop. To be honest with you, we do, because that's just not enough. Now, my first target, obviously, I've done my research and kind of looked at kind of players that people have been talking about, and the first one is Tom Cannon from Everton. Now, obviously, he's very young. He's 19. He's apparently he's a reported target for a lot of for quite a number of football league sides. So he's been in the under 23s last season. Obviously scored 8 goals in 23 games, and then he's carried that form into this season. So he's scored 10 goals in 16 appearances, bagging 4 in their EFL trophy games. So he also made his Premier League debut for Everton in their last pre-World Cup break game, coming off the bench in their 3-0 defeat to Bournemouth. And he's also impressed Frank Lampard. Kind of saw that he's kind of really bigged him up, really, in terms of saying obviously he's a goal scorer, and naturally gets in areas, and he's quick and he's hungry. So that's the words of Frank Lampard. And obviously, I think that maybe a loan deal would be great here, to get him some experience at a senior club. And I just hope that I wouldn't mind him coming in. I think it would be a good signing. And I know it's a gamble because he's young and he's not, but I just think that he is a very good player. He looks like, and obviously I've seen bits of him. Obviously Frank Lampard really rates him highly, so that speaks volumes to me. So yeah, definitely will be I wouldn't mind him coming in. Like I say, he's an exciting prospect. And he could really shine with them regular minutes, senior minutes, and like I said, we could certainly do worse than take up on the teenage, Everton forward. So I wouldn't mind it at all. And so yeah, definitely a thumbs up for me for Tom Cannon if he wants to come and join us. So we will have a lot of competition, and that's the problem. But that is what it is. Another player that I picked out is Matej Vydra. Now, Matej Vydra obviously has got a lot of experience, and he's actually a free agent at the moment. So he's been without a club since leaving Burnley. He's had a serious injury which ruled him out of action at the back end of last season, which is why he didn't really get renewed his contract. And then obviously Vidra announced in November that it was nearing a return to football. Obviously, given his long-term absence, I think kind of a 6-month contract here would work for us, for both parties, to be honest with you. Vidra would get regular minutes with us and be able to work his way back onto the pitch. And like I say, in return, we would gain a striker with Premier League experience who has also had a good track record in the Championship. So I wouldn't mind him coming in either. He's a brilliant forward, and it would certainly add firepower to that front line and make a difference. So yeah, big thumbs up for me for that one, for sure. And it is worth a gamble for the sake of a 6. I wouldn't give him a long term. I'd give him a 6 month, like I said, and see how he does. Another player that obviously has been linked is Kabongo Shimanga. I did well to pronounce that, from Chesterfield. Now, obviously, back in the summer, non-league forward Kabongo came very close to signing for Birmingham City, only for a late hitch to scupper his move to the Championship side. Obviously, he's 25 years of age, he's a striker. He's been on fire in recent seasons in the National League, bagging goals for fun. Obviously, he's formerly of MK Dons. He scored an impressive 41 goals and 88 appearances for Boreham Wood between 2019 and 21, which earned him a move to Chesterfield. Last term, he hit 25 goals in 31 games for the Spireites, helping them to a 7th place finish in the National League. Now, I know he's improving in the Football League, but the reality is we need to, kind of be box clever in January. We don't have the ability to spend a significant amount on a striker. It would be worth a risk to put all of our eggs in the basket, if you could say so, for him, because and it could be one that could pay massive dividends for us, really, if it comes off. He certainly knows where the back of the net is, and that is exactly what we lack right now here at Huddersfield. And I just think that, I know he's unproven, but I think he will really be a big player for us if we can get him in. So yeah, again, another player that I wouldn't mind see coming in. And yeah, that is that. And then obviously, probably going to be unpopular this one, but obviously Sam Surridge from Nottingham Forest is another one that's kind of been linked now. He has struggled for game time in the Premier League for Forest, hasn't he, this season? And obviously 24 years of age. He's featured in 8 of Forest's 16 Premier League games. He's played just 130 minutes in those fixtures. Like I said, there's a host of players above Sturridge at the moment in the pecking order at Forest, meaning he may consider dropping back down to the Championship in January to get more minutes under his belt. Now, a permanent transfer would be a massive tall order, which we would not be able to manage, but a loan move might not be out of the question, and I think that may be a good signing for us, because like I say, this guy has got Championship experience. He's scored plenty in the Championship too, and yeah, I think that will be a big signing if we can get him. But so yeah, I've kind of picked out a few of those. Let me know your thoughts on those players, and if you'd like to see any of those come in. I certainly make an eye for any of those really at the moment. I mean, even if we could get maybe 2 of these in. Now, I don't know how much that would cost to get at least 2 of them in from the names I mentioned, but obviously with Cannon probably being a loan deal, if we were to get him in, and then Sturridge being a loan deal as well, we could potentially get another one, a third attacking player in, but let's not get carried away. Obviously 2 probably. Now my top, if you look at the top, I'd probably be looking at Mate Vidra as the number 1, and see, and then obviously then I'm kind of looking at Tishmanga from Chesterfield, what I was on about before, and Tom Cannon. I'd like either of those. I'm sitting on the fence, but I'd like either of those. And obviously Surridge again, like I said. But I was just rank them in order of how I'd like to see the priorities being taken with these players. But like I say, it's rumours, so likelihood is probably none of these will actually come in. But it's players that we should be looking to go in for. That's the reality here, and we'll just have to see. But yeah. That is it for the video then. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for all your support on the videos in the past. Like I say, it's been great to come back and obviously do these videos again for you guys. And I'm hoping to get the live streams back very soon. I don't know when, but hopefully like I said, I want to mix it with it. I want to do a few live streams. I want to do a few pre-recorded ones like these ones. So hopefully we can get them back underway very soon. So stay tuned for that. But yeah. Like I said, please hit the subscribe button and like the video as well. It does help with the algorithm and get the video noticed. And yeah, the subscription would mean a lot to me, like I say. If you haven't already and you happen to stumble across this video just out of chance. Also, like I say, I'd love to hear from you Town fans. Let me know in the comments what you've made of what I've said in today's video. And anything else you'd like to add additionally. But yeah. Fingers crossed for this weekend. I really, really, really hope that we can get a win. We really badly need it, and it would be nice to come away with a smile on our face for the which has been a rare occurrence this season, as we know. But yeah, thanks all for watching. Have a good rest of the week. Enjoy the game Saturday if you are going. I may see you there. If you do see me, don't be afraid to come and say hello to me. And yeah, up the town, come on you Terriers, and bring on Saturday afternoon. Take care everybody, bye bye.